Hey everybody, MegaRuler31 back here. I'm going to be breaking down the 9-game main slate for Saturday, the 20th. I am doing this the night before. I just got done with TK recording our NASCAR video, and I'm sure McKinley 412 will have, I'll probably be posting this overnight. So subscribe to our channel or check back on our channel. McKinley 412 will have the early slate breakdown for you. That starts at, I believe it's 4:05. So we've got both slates covered for you. This slate tonight was difficult because we had weather concerns pop up. It was a 15-game monster slate. We had COVID concerns pop up. A couple of the Red Sox tested positive for COVID. At least one Philly did. Solano from San Francisco, he's the only one that will affect us on this slate. So it's still out there. It's still something we need to watch. Weather forecast, it looks okay initially tonight as I look at the slate, but again, we have a hurricane coming. If you're in the New Orleans or in that southern area, our prayers are with you. Stay safe. There's greater things in DFS, your safety, take cover. Hopefully, it won't affect too many of these games. But then again, it's very hot and humid time throughout the whole country. So you could have pop-up storms everywhere. So just keep an eye on the weather, keep an eye on the news for COVID, and let's break down this slate. So pitching wise, I don't think there's a ton of options. You got Valdez is the top one here. He gets a Texas team. That definitely gives you a bump. But just looking at his 10-game log recently, he's okay with like 25 DK points, but he has a couple of them that just really haven't been that exciting for me just to try to pay off a 10K price tag. I get it, like the matchup against Texas, I don't hate him, but I think, out of all the pitchers tonight, he'd be number 3 for me. Logan Webb gets a tough matchup against Atlanta. He's been decent. He's consistently in the 20s here. If you look at his Ks, you're looking at about 7 or 8 Ks here. Probably can still get a guy against the Braves. Really hasn't played too many great teams in that stretch. I mean, Houston probably being the best one, and it only put up a 14 there. So I'm okay with him also, but I think, I would put him below Valdez in a better matchup. Lance Lynn, he also has struggled recently. If you look at his box scores, like barely 20. Look at the strikeouts, like 4-4. Toronto's definitely a hard matchup. Oakland, Yankees 7, but 8 against the Cubs. That's who he faces again. So 23, I think that's okay. This Cubs game tonight against the White Sox is crazy. I don't know if it's over yet, but last time I checked, it was like 17-13. That is just looks like it's finally over. Yep, 17-13. So these bullpens are going to be taxed. So he might get a longer leash, and that could be good or bad. It could be a more opportunity for more DK points, for more innings, for more strikeouts. Or if he's struggling, he might stay out there and give up some more runs because they don't really have a bullpen to bring out there. So that could be go either way there. But looking at these top 4 pitchers, Wainwright has to be my favorite here. He gets Pittsburgh, gets a great matchup. He has been so consistent. Yes, there's a little blip against Milwaukee, but it just faced Pittsburgh, and Pittsburgh's not a team that if you just face them, is going to figure them out and go and light them up. Absolutely not. It's a good pitcher's park. I think definitely, maybe not 40 DK points, but definitely 25, 30. Definitely my favorite play on the slate. So if we're looking at top pitchers, Wainwright's going to be top 1, followed by Lynn, then Valdez, then Webb. Stroman, I think, makes a cheaper option here at 8-9. I think I'm going to use him as my SP2 in cash for the slate. Consistently in the 20s, even in some tough matchup. Dodgers are a hard matchup. San Francisco's a hard matchup. He gets Washington again, just faced him 27 DK points, 8 strikeouts, went 5 innings, only 1 run, 1 earned run. Definitely a good outing there. And we talked about Washington. They're just really not the same team after getting rid of a bunch of their players, Turner, and losing Harper the year before, and all these players that from the World Series team. They're just kind of blowing it up. Like Soto's the only one left, and really not much protection around him. So not really scared there, and I think he's going to have a really good game. So these two guys right here, Wainwright and Stroman, are going to be my SP1 and SP2 in cash. Unola, I think he's okay. He came back from the disabled list. He has had 2 decent outings, 9 strikeouts against the Yankees, 4 against the Marlins. He's going like 5 or 6 innings. So I think that's okay. San Francisco is good offense though. So I think if you want to maybe pivot off, save a little money, he's fine with that. But then we drop off fast. Like Patino, I'm not really a believer in him. I know some guys really like him. Yeah, he had a 19 against the White Sox. Yes, he gets Baltimore, but just really like up and down, not real consistent, not going some 3 innings, 5, 6 innings. I guess that's okay, but I think Baltimore can maybe get to him. So I'm not interested. I think he's going to be on my fade list. Hauser, not really interested in too. I think this is going to be a high scoring game. I think it's got a 10 total, so one of the highest scoring games on the slate. If you look at him, 7 against Washington is really not good. Only went like 3-1 innings. Pittsburgh 17, Pittsburgh 17, 10, a -2, just strikeouts, not getting the Ks, just not interested. Put him on my fade list. Brault against St. Louis. St. Louis has been hitting well recently. Not interested in him. Means with Baltimore, I think he's the cheapest guy I would go at. And Tampa Bay does have some Ks in their lineup. He just faced them, put up 10 DK points. Yes, he gave up 4 earned runs, 2 home runs here. So there is some risk, 7 Ks. But that was at Tampa Bay, which I guess that's a pitcher's park too. Baltimore's a more offensive park. So, but again, there's really no value guys here. So if you're looking to pay down in a GPP, I think he's where you want to go. Price really isn't going that deep in the games. Alex Mills, again, it's the same situation as the White Sox. There's no bullpen behind him. They used up almost probably everybody in this like high scoring game. He struggled against Kansas City, against Miami, only could put up 12. K's like 3 to 4. It's really, I mean, he's not exactly like a bargain basement, like 5K guy there either. Gray against the Dodgers scares me. Stemmen's only be opener. Noland against the Mets, even though they've been cold, I think maybe some people might take him, but he's 6'1", and he's not going that deep into games either. He's only getting about 2 to 3 innings. So, not really super interested in him. Weathers has been a horrible pitcher. Suarez, I really don't like him. Barnes doesn't go very far, and Allard could be one of the worst pitchers on the slate too. So when it comes to pitching, like very few options here that I really feel comfortable with. So I think, lock me into Wainwright and Stroman. Now, hitting wise, I think there's a lot of good opportunities. The first one I'm going to look at is Houston. Houston is back. They have like so many options now. You have Alvarez, you have Altuve, he got the night off. Like there's just so many things they can do with this lineup. I think Brantley let off tonight. So like these guys are getting up there, a little bit pricey. You have a righty lefty matchup there. So, some of these righties could absolutely crush. Alvarez is good against lefties or righties. So I think they're going to be my favorite top stack on the slate. But I think in my cash games, I'm really going to go with San Diego against Suarez here. The Texas pitcher has been bad this season, but recently he hasn't been like horrible. I think Suarez has been even worse. I don't know why these aren't opening. There we go. Allard, 10 games. He's been consistent here, consistently giving up like 2 to 3 runs here. So I think Houston can definitely get to him, but I think San Diego is going to put up an even bigger number. I love the fact that they're up against right or left-handed pitcher here. So Tatis, like all of a sudden he's an outfielder now. He used to be like shortstop, Machado, Pham. Um, we'll see who like starts out in this lineup. Nola as catcher, I think, is a great option there. The Angels on the other side of it too, I think would be my third favorite stack. It's kind of hard to stack them with some of these big bats still out there, but Ohtani, Walsh, lefty, Fletcher's consistent, Stassi, Goslin. I think there's a lot of once you get past Ohtani's price tag, Walsh at 4.2. The rest of them are very reasonable to be able to stack, and then get like a nice secondary stack there, or there could be some decent fill-in pieces. Even if you stack some of these teams, you have like in the 3K area left. Dodgers would probably be my next stack. Ray hasn't been horrible, but they're the Dodgers, and again, they're just kind of like Houston. There's just like so many pieces here that they can rotate in and out. So and it's hard because at least this game isn't like super late, usually on a Saturday, like 9-10. It's not like a 10-10 game. So you have to wait like 3 hours, and sometimes you don't get the lineup for lock. And then you like have all these studs playing and left all the salary for them, and you get a bunch of lesser guys, and you have like a ton of salary left over where you could have paid up someplace else. So I don't think that would be the situation there. So Houston, definitely my favorite. San Diego would be second, but I think I'm leaning San Diego in cash there. Just I like the way the build works. Angels and Dodgers. I think going back to the White Sox and GPP definitely makes a lot of sense. Even the Cubs too. I think you're going to see more runs in those games. I don't really love the pitcher. Lynn is definitely a much better pitcher than Keuchel that they had out there tonight. But still, I think you could still see some runs against the bullpens there. They're probably pretty taxed. Milwaukee would be the next one. I think there's going to be runs in this game too. A little bit of rain maybe in the area, but I think they're fine. St. Louis has been consistently putting up runs also against this Pittsburgh team. So I like them. And it's just like Goldsmith, Arenado have just been hitting really well recently. Tampa Bay was disappointing tonight. Yes, they did put up 6 runs, but Cruz had a 0. Lowe had a 0. Zunino hit a home run, but I think people might look at the Baltimore matchup and go back against them. But again, I think Means is a decent pitcher. I'm going to be off them. I'm okay if you stack them in a GPP, but they'd be my 4th favorite. Like I said, cheap ones like Minnesota. I think San Francisco is cheap against Atlanta. However, I really like, I think that's going to be a pitching matchup. It's got a little total there. Baltimore, they said, I think is intriguing against Patino. I'm not a real believer in him. I think there's some cheap bats, and I really like that stack. I'm definitely going to play them in GPP. Texas against Houston. Again, Valdez, I think it's a leverage play there. I think Valdez might have some high ownership just with lack of pitching on the slate. And I think they make there's some cheap bats and they're boomer bust. So that's probably $1 GPP there. And then your leverage stacks, like I said, like the Cubs, if Lynn's going to be popular, Pittsburgh against Wainwright, but I think Wainwright's just going to dominate them. I just think that's a YOLO play there. Atlanta, but I think, against Webb, that's going to be a low scoring game there. And then, of course, Washington against Stroman, but I think Stroman's a very strong play. So, like I said, quickly, just the build I was looking at, all the games here. If you throw Wainwright and Stroman in there, I'm going to go with San Diego as my stack. Like I said, like Houston, I like the White Sox, like the Angels, Dodgers. There's some options. So Nola, like the righty matchup there. Gonna take the big boys, Tatis, Machado, Pham, and I think I'm going to stop there. We'll see who else plays. Maybe I can get another bat in here, but I'm going to go with 4 of them. Maybe first base, like Hosmer. I don't like the lefty and lefty matchup. But I think I'm going to throw Minnesota in here. And if you look at the cover of this video, Buxton, I picked, he is back, going to be in the lineup. all things point tomorrow. And if you see his price, it is just insanely low for a guy with speed and power. He's only 2,800. So it was only, he had 3 games last time he came back from the stable list. He had 5 DK points. Then he had I think it was like a 20 DK point game. He had a home run the second game out, and then at least 5. So at 28, if he just gets me 5, I'm fine. But I think there's some potential for, okay. So it looks like he was back tonight, and 3 at bats, only put up 2. So, I think at that price point, if he's got potential, I definitely think I'm going to lock him in there. And I like the Twins. Like I said, I think this is going to be a high scoring game. Hauser, low strikeout pitcher. I think he's going to get touched up. So, you can go like Polanco and Arez or here, and then like pay up for first base because you have $500 left. I don't think you're going to want to know that. You're going to want to probably take another one off as a first baseman, but I think that's where I want to go for tomorrow night. So hopefully this helped you. If you have any questions, hit me up on the comments below or hit me up on Twitter at MegaRuler31. We're here to help. Like I said, if things radically change like tonight and you have questions and, some of the stuff in the video doesn't apply anymore, pitchers get scratched, there's a COVID outbreak, things like that, just drop some comments. We'll try to get back to you as quickly as we can to try to help you out with your builds. Again, if you're looking for the early video, go to our channel, FSI DFS, and check it out. And McKinley 412 should have that covered. We have the NASCAR race covered. We have PGA. We have NFL preseason. We have like so many different things going on here. So thanks for watching. We appreciate it. And good luck in your contests. And hopefully you'll have some green screens at the end of the night.